Kendall Bell provide personalised professional telephone answering services to companies of all sizes. In terms of the telephone answering, we have a team of personal assistants that sit in our office. A client will typically have 3 PAs who will answer calls on their behalf and take messages and forward the messages by either email or text to the clients.
Virtual reception, how does that work?
So virtual reception is very much like somebody having their own receptionist in their own office. We're in our office, we have the facility where if a caller calls for the company, we answer the company's name. We then can transfer that call either to the employees of that company's desk phone or to their mobiles, depending on where they are. And if they're available, we'll put the call through if they're willing to take the call. So it's very same as a receptionist, the call is put through. Or if they're not available to take the call, we'll take messages and forward the messages to them on their behalf.
Diary management. Sounds like a complicated system. Does it work?
Works very well for people, particularly in the health sector, be they conventional or alternative practitioners. Via an online diary system, we and the practitioner has access to the same diary, so we can answer the call, book appointments, and the caller knows that when they're next available. And because it's online, we share diaries via password protection. So yeah, it works very well.
What about cancellations? So you've all this effort into making appointments, etc., and then cancellations happen. I mean, it starts to get quite complicated then. Does that work okay?
Yeah, it works very well. And yes, you're right. You know, you will have people who will have to cancel for whatever reason. So once they call and they say they can't make it tomorrow, we can cancel that on the online diary system. The person who we're taking the calls on their behalf can see it immediately, and then we can reschedule that appointment for a different date if that is what the caller requires.
Order taking. This is an area, obviously, it's critical to companies that this is where they get their sales, their revenue through. Are companies happy enough to hand over this role? It's a critical role.
It is indeed, yeah, and even more so nowadays. Everybody is making sure that they're dealing with every opportunity for a sale. So what we provide a service is that we're always there to answer the call when the person rings in to place the order. Again, with the client, we agree how to process that order, and again, we may have access to their CRM system where we can put the order up and take the customer details, and we can also process payments on behalf of the clients via credit card processing system that we have.
Customer service. Again, this is an area where it's critical for a company that generally it could be when there's a problem or an issue. How do you handle this?
Okay, so again, when we take on a client and we're providing their service desk, they would provide us with information on how to handle that call, and then there would be an escalation list, and if it's mechanical or electrical, there's a certain area. If it's building, there's a certain people on call. So they update us with lists in terms of who to contact if there is an escalation. So if there are any emergencies, be it a flood or whatever in the building, we know who or the appropriate people that we can call out.
Okay, online credit card processing. Again, critical element. The company wants to make sure the payment goes through to their account very, very quickly and in the cheapest possible fees. How do you achieve that? Okay, so there's 2 ways we handle credit card processing. If a company have their own PayPal site, we'll log on, we'll agree with them that they give us access to their site, and we can process that credit card payment on behalf of that company. If they don't have that facility, we have our own credit card processing facility. So we'll take details from the client's customer, take their credit card details, complete the transaction, and then we will pass the money on to the client and we'll take a small margin on the credit card transaction, quite small. Out of hours service, that's self-explanatory. It's 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. What about emergency cover? In other words, where maybe there's disaster recovery, or a company has a product that needs to be recalled, or all of a sudden has a massive influx of calls. Can you handle that big upsurge in calls? Yes, indeed. And one of the advantages of the Kendall Bell solution is that there's a network of offices in Ireland, and we can overflow calls from one office. If we are experiencing a peak in a volume of calls, we can overflow calls to the other offices, so that there are people then available to take the calls, and that's a 24/7 service we offer. So who would typically use the Kendall Bell service? I mean, for instance, I believe some franchises are using your services? Yes, no, so clients from all sizes use our service. Yeah, we have a number of franchises who are
customers of ours. But I would be fair to say that the customers that range from smaller trades and professions, say solicitors or electricians or whatever, right up to multinational indigenous companies. So we have the large banks, some PLCs.
So even foreign companies who are coming into Ireland and maybe have limited resources because they don't have the network of communications here, they can use you for answering calls, etc. here on site.
We're an ideal solution for foreign companies who don't have a presence in Ireland and don't want to invest in the cost of having their own people. So we can provide them with a business address, provide them with local telephone numbers, with a telephone answering service so they can test the market here. And then if they grow, they either continue with our service or they may want to take it in-house.
And would you recommend Kendall Bell as a franchise?
Yeah, I certainly would. If your background is in sales and because you're running your own business and you have got to develop the business yourself, I would definitely recommend it if you have that skill set. The other skill set you need to have is managing people, because you'll have a number of personal assistants working for you.
How do you see the future?
I see the future, I'm optimistic about the future based on my trade today. There's a good demand for that service, and the model of the outsourced virtual office, we can do it at about 10 to 20% of the cost of somebody employing their own people.
I want to try this, but I don't want to give you any money. Sure. Is that possible?
It is indeed. We provide a no obligation and a no cost free trial service where you can experience the quality of the Kendall Bell service. And it also allows us to assess how many calls you will take, and we can then make decisions about the commercials going forward based on that.
I want to sign up. Who do I call?
Please call 1-800-844-448 and we'll deal with your inquiry.
Donal, thank you very much for talking to us today, and the very best of luck in the future.